PvP isn't something that I really focus on that much, but today we're going to go through my journey from where I was at the start of this game to where I am now with PvP. As the thumbnail says, there has been lots of ups, lots of downs, and so much more in between. I've learned so much, and I'm going to try and share as much as I have learned within my PvP journey up until where I am now, and kind of show you the progression and what you get hit at different stages throughout your PvP journey. I've mostly focused on solos during my whole PvP career. That sounds weird. I'm not a professional, but yeah, solos is what I've mostly focused on. Duos has kind of taken a back seat, so that is what I'm going to be focused on today. I'm going to show you the different game modes, what you hit at different levels throughout your PvP, and where I am now and what struggles I've had the whole way. Trying to get you more informed before you get to these points and kind of fast track you into a better position with your PvP journey. So I started about a month before global release. I had soft release because I'm here in Australia. Lucky me. So when I first started playing them, I was very casual. I played maybe once a day, hardly focused on PvP at all. I just done it. It was fairly easy because there wasn't that many people, and I really felt like there was heaps of bots in the game, pretty much just to get everyone playing so you get an opponent very fast. I feel like if you got into the top of echelon, you probably would have had real players, but I didn't really push that hard. I just played, got my PvP done, and had to do it for the day. But I mainly focused on PvE content. As we got into the global release, that's when I started making videos. I made a video about dueling, some basics that I had found. It was terrible. I watch it back now. I'm going to show you some of it now and just show you how bad my deck combination was at that point. It is absolutely terrible. I can see why I didn't win any matches. It was just silly. So I'm going to show you this to show you how low you can go with your deck composition, and then we'll move into where I am now and just show you this is where you probably want to be heading. And then once you get to where I am, you've kind of got to pivot again because the whole game changes. And if you aren't at that point, I'm at about 8,100 points. If you aren't there yet and you haven't seen, the game changes a fair bit at that point. So you better wait around for that because this is something you don't want to miss. All right, have a look at that deck behind me. Can anyone tell me what's wrong with that deck? It is shocking. Seriously, there is nothing with that deck that makes really any sense. Incendio, Niffler, both very good, but you don't need Niffler for Hermione because she procs her skill and you don't need that much MP. Crucio, I do love as well, but it is very hard to use. Now I've got Obscurus, that is definitely in there instead of Crucio. We've got the good old Avocado after that, and that is pretty much useless unless you're using a Dobby deck and you're against like a Hagrid or a Neville or someone that has summons that you can get kills off. So this was useless. That went not long after. Atmosphere Charm's pretty good. I don't mind it. I don't use it now, but it is pretty good. There's absolutely no reason to really have the Cornish Pixies in this team. She's all about spells, not summons. So that can go. Ventus, useless. It's not too bad actually against the Locomotors, but other than that, it's probably not that useful for Hermione, and I've switched that with Expulsio now. It's 2 less MP. It probably does more for you than the Ventus does. And we've got Prior and Canto at the end, which I still use very heavily in a lot of my decks. Obviously, you need to be picky and choosy which ones you use this for. Go down to Companions. Hermione and Cassandra, both very good companions. But now I have it the other way around because Cassandra at the start in the back corner, which you'll see in a couple of duels that we show later, is absolutely amazing. And then if you use Hermione in the mid game, you can just absolutely smoke your opponent and flip the script, which I did show in my most recent video about the Obscurus. You can absolutely pile on damage if you use Hermione properly. So we've got Kevin at the end, fairly useless as well. If you get to the end and you need health, you're probably stuffed anyway. So I would get rid of this. I've put Ron in there, so much better. You can snap up some summons if you really need to, and then hit off with a big attack. Most of the point for this video was more about trying to find the deck you like playing, finding the cards and echoes that you like playing, and then building a deck around that. I obviously found some cards that I liked and just mashed them all together, but didn't think about how they all work together or if they did work together. Obviously done a fair bit of homework. You guys have helped me out in the streams. There will be 2 streams this weekend, so watch out for that. They'll be posted very soon. Those streams have been super influential on how I build my deck, and just learning about the cards, just talking to you guys back and forth is so awesome to my strategy within PvP. Let's go and have a look at some dueling that I did in here and just watch me get absolutely wrecked. So as you can see here, we're in the battle. I have so much more health than what he does. I've got Whomping Willow in there as someone. I've got a health in there. Like, I seriously don't even know what I'm doing. Why would I drop Hermione then and drop Fire there? That was just, like, obviously you got to get rid of him, but that's just useless. I didn't pair Lightning with Hermione. I did do a good one there. Crucio and Ron, that is amazing. Great play. But seriously, I'm still struggling with these summons. I've got nothing on the board, nothing to show. This is the first time I'm hitting him. He's already taken 400 off me. Yes, it was really early in my PvP days, but the thing was, I wasn't even practicing. I wasn't going out there and doing any battles, so I wasn't learning, I wasn't getting better. But I was just thinking and just getting annoyed because I was losing. But what you need to do is play, look at what your opponent does, look at the cards that they match together and see how they work. Like, look at this play right there. Locomotor plus the Malfoy trio. There's 5 summons that are straight on my back. I have no counter that. I'm not ready for that. And I just get it absolutely obliterated there. That Cassandra drop was silly. Should have been Whomping Willow first. Like, these very rookie errors I was making all the time, and it just wasn't making PvP fun. Like, literally, it wasn't fun at all, and that's why I focus more on PvE. But now that I've been focusing on PvP a lot more, you start to learn a few more strategies. Like, I seen that strategy there, and I learned from that. I took that into my next deck. So when I do a locomotive deck with Hagrid or something like that, I'm going to have the Malfoy trio there ready. I'll drop them, I'll drop Locomotor all at once, and then my opponent just gets swarmed with heaps of summons at one time. The first big piece of advice that I can give you is watch your opponent and learn from their plays. As I said then, I've seen that Locomotor drop with Malfoy at the same time is just really hard to deal with if you're not set up for it. You got 5 summons coming straight at you. I know you only need to take down 1 Malfoy and they're all gone, but still, it's really hard to pinpoint one of them and get rid of them all. So watch your opponent, see what cards they play. If they're playing the same cards as you, see what they pair them with. See what works well, and just go back to your deck and try it. You can go into unranked, you won't lose points, you won't go down, but even if you do just go normal, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you go down. Go and try stuff. Eventually you find a few things that work together. Go and watch some other content creators, watch my stuff. We will show you some really good combos that work well and give you the building blocks to start your deck. You don't have to follow my deck exactly. It's not perfect. No one's deck is, because it all depends on what you come up against. But one of the best things about this whole game is every card is usable. Seriously, you can have your favorite card, could be Nebulous, it could be Incarcerus, or it could be Crucio, it could be Fiendfire. You can use all of these cards in a deck. Maybe not together, but you'll find a deck that you can build around that card. I have not seen one card in this whole game that is useless. That is a massive accomplishment from this game. Seriously, I have not played another game where every card is usable. The hardest thing that I found, and the biggest struggle climbing up through this platinum banner, is there is a weekly 2 cards get banned. It is all done by the community. You voted in, so it's your choice. This really made it hard when climbing through Platinum. At that stage, I had flipped to a Hagrid deck and was using the Locomotor. As soon as the Bombastic Bombs or the Locomotor gets banned, it really, really puts a big strain on that deck. Obviously, you can switch the Locomotor to a Egg or a Fiendfire or whatever else you want to. It just means you really need to switch your strategy, and this was a really, really hard sticking point that you will come up against. From Platinum all the way up until 8,100, I believe, there is a banned 2 cards every week. They switch and they can't be the same each week to week, which I like, but it is just something else that you need to work around getting all the way up into Magic Awakened or getting to that global stage. Right behind me here, this is the deck that I've pushed all the way up into that 8,100 threshold. There was a few tweaks here and there. Obviously, I got the Obscurus card over the weekend. That slotted right in for Crucio. But other than that, it's been the same for a very long time. We've got Prior Incanto, we've got the Broomstick and Apungo, which is a match made in heaven, especially with Hermione. We've got Expulso, which also goes really well with all these cards. We've got Nebulous in here, which gives us just that little bit of coverage and just a little bit of healing every now and again. We've got Incendio, which is really good when they're hiding in their Nebulous. The same with Expulso, that's why they're there, just so your lightning can strike them even if they are hidden under their own Nebulous. And then we go with the Hermione Echo because of that proc. Her proc is absolutely amazing. You need to keep all these low cost cards here. This Thunderstorm and this Obscurus can get down to 2 or 3 MP depending how long you keep it in your hand. I think I've got Obscurus down to 1 MP one time. And once you do that, and then you may have Prior Incanto next up straight off the bat, and you can double Obscurus straight onto your opponent. Maybe Hermione's out as well, and they Obscurus too. So there's 3 Obscuruses within 5 to 10 seconds, and your opponent just gets melted. I'm loving Hermione right now. Maybe this deck isn't for you, but Hermione is amazing. PvP is just an absolute beast. Obviously, there's counters, and that's the best thing about this whole game. There is counters to everything. on top of every card being available to use, every card has a counter, every echo has a counter. It's just, they've done super well at balancing that whole thing. Obviously, they're not balanced because some people have cards that are way, way above. And I feel like this is something that they could implement soon, is having two versions of PvP. Have a balanced side of PvP where everyone has the same level of card and it's all about skill. It doesn't matter if you've got level 10 or level 20 or 18, whatever it goes to. All your cards are balanced straight back to 10 or whatever they want to make it. You go in there, you use whatever deck you want, and then it's battling solely on how good your skills are, not the size of your wallet. So I think that would be a great improvement and something that they could add in just on offshoot as another style of PvP going forward. As I explained before, we've got our companions here. Cassandra goes into the back corner, so if there's any summons, you can go hide in her lightning and she just pretty much demolishes them. We've got Hermione for that huge spike in damage, and Ron just to clean up some summons at the end and maybe get a big spike of damage just to take out your opponent at the end. So let's go and have a look at a few duels that I've done with Hermione, and we'll talk through my strategy going with Hermione and how this has really elevated me to where I am right now. Obviously, you don't win every game on the way up. My biggest streak was probably 5, and then I have like 5 or 6 losses as well. Lucky you don't lose as much on your losses as you do win, because otherwise I'd be absolutely in the ground, dead and buried. And that even happened. As soon as I got into Grandmaster, I went over the threshold and I lost like 10 in a row. I was on stream and just lost. But you don't go down a grade. You stay where you are until the end of the season and then they drop you down. Luckily, that happened for me because otherwise I would have been gone. So let's go and have a look at a few of these duels where I do really good, because this is an up section. Soon we're going to go into those downs and have a look at how shit PvP it can get. So we're going to talk about this duel. We talked about this one the other day in the Obscurus video, but I just want to talk about it again because it's just really emphasizing the point about trusting the process. I started this match off terribly. Like seriously, I could not have started this any worse. Kevin's right there. If you see Kevin, get rid of him. They're obviously using a Snape Echo, and you will get absolutely obliterated if you do not remove Kevin. They will put out a time turner, and those basic attacks and the Symptoms Mesa or whatever it is absolutely annihilate you. So as you can see, my health is very depleted. I have only just got rid of Kevin and we're 42 seconds into the battle. That is horrible. You need to get rid of him within 10 to 15 seconds so he doesn't have a chance to get the added bonus. And things still don't look up now. I'm getting even worse and worse. I've got my Thunder off. I'm doing a bit of damage here and there. They obviously don't have Nebulous, so I'm very happy about that, because they cannot hide from the Thunder. But we keep on going. That is right there. That is why you use Nebulous. I hardly got hit by that Incendio, and my Cassandra was hidden a little bit as well. So we keep going, keep going. Here, I'm like, yes, I'm going on the offensive now. We got a good stage. Oh no, we get absolutely obliterated again. But the thing is, I'm hiding. I've got my Obscurus ready. It's down to 2 MP. I've got my Thunder, which is at 3. I drop Hermione. Thunder twice because I know there's no Nebulous there to hide themselves. I wait. He's not doing anything to take out my Hermione. Wait till her proc is ready again. I Obscurus. She Obscurus. And we just absolutely annihilate him, taking off 1800 worth of damage. My Prior Incanto is up, so I get to do Obscurus again. And we have just flipped that script from one side all the way to the other, and this is why I love this deck. You can literally have your opponent in a huge false sense of security, flip the script, and get way back out in front. This sometimes does not work, and we're going to have a look at that right now. Alright, here's another battle now. It's sped up to about 1.5 speed, that's why it looks a bit fast. But I start off, I use my low cost MP cards, try and hit that proc really fast, which I have. Try and hide from the lightning because they've double Hermioned. But I like it when they do this. I know they've used their big hit, and that's why I don't use Hermione first. Get Cassandra here. I'm Nebulousing to try and hide that Thunder, but once that Thunder is on you, you're just dead. That's the hard thing about Cassandra. If they do have something like that or Incendio, she can be out of the game very fast, and that's what you need to do if you see your opponent have Cassandra or Kevin or something like that. But as you've seen then, we're going to go back to that. I did emphasize this point in the Obscurus video as well, but I'll just quickly go over it. As you see, they used Obscurus, and as soon as you see your opponent use it, this is the point you go, I'm going to attack you. I'm going on the front foot. And as you see, I Obscurus back, but I don't know if there's a bug or something's wrong. I attacked too fast, it only hit once, and I left. This is really annoying because that is the point where you need to take advantage of that 40% extra damage. Obscurus is an amazing card. Even if you're against it, you just need to counter it and just attack your opponent hardcore. And as soon as you know they have it, that is when you need to save MP for next time they use it and jump on it even more. So we keep going. It's a very, very even battle, and I feel like I've got this in the bag because I know how I want to battle, and if I can get my Hermione double lightning off, then I have a huge chance here. They're using Bellatrix, obviously, because the Death Eaters come out and just really absolutely annihilate me. And then they use Nebulous at the right times. They hide from all my lightning, and it's just not working for me. And this is the hard thing with Bellatrix. I've tried using her. I need to really, really try and practice with Bellatrix because she can be so good. And I know a lot of you guys out there absolutely hate her. But again, you need to be on the front foot and you need to think about what your opponent's doing. As we can see here, they've got Opali out there just doing damage, taking all of my energy and all of everything that I'm doing. I don't even notice that he had Obscurus ready and he had the Death Eaters ready. And I just went from over 1,000 health down to 300 health in a second. So I was not in the right frame of mind because I was dealing with an Opali. I still feel like I have a chance here because I do have an Obscurus down the bottom. I've got my lightning ready. I do that. I miss that Obscurus perfectly, and he's there ready for the taking. But for some reason, I don't do any. Oh, I do my Obscurus, and I don't get the kill. Battles can go back and forwards like that super easily, and they're the fun battles. Yeah, I didn't lose by much, but I still hate losing, and I knew exactly where I went wrong. And this is what you need to do as well. Another piece of advice. I don't know if it's number 2, 3, 4. Who's counting? But when you do a battle, and you do lose very minimally like that, go back and watch the battle, study it, see where you went wrong. I knew where I went wrong then was that I wasn't paying attention to what my opponent was doing. I didn't notice that the Death Eaters were coming soon. I was too focused on Opali. He knew exactly what was going on. Opali was taking care of me. His bar was going up and he was ready to Obscurus drop right on me. Death Eaters drop next to me and just Crucio'd the hell out of me, and that is exactly what he did. It was a perfect play. He done it very well. I congratulate him on how well he done, and that's exactly what you need to do with Bellatrix. I'm obviously not going to get into huge strategies on all my echoes and whatever like that. I will do that soon. So I'm at the point now at 8,100 when you get into the World Champs or whatever it's called. At this point, you need to have 3 built decks that you can sub in and use at any point in time. So I've hopefully felt like I've not mastered, but I've gotten a lot better with this Hermione deck. But now I need to learn 2 other echoes so then I can go into a battle against someone else. It took me weeks just to learn how to do Hermione. Now I've got to learn something else. And now, this is the point I'm at now. I'm literally back into a down. I'm battling. I'm losing consistently. Even when I use my Hermione, I'm getting absolutely flogged. So we'll go and have a look at where I am now and what you need to look forward to when you get to that 8,100 threshold. So it's called Top Wizard Global Tournament. This is just stupid. How do they not fix this? Seriously, guys, come on. This is kindergarten. This is kindergarten. Pick up your mat. Pick up your act. So as you can see here, it has changed just a little bit. Once you go past this little threshold here, up above my head, you switch into global. This means that you have to pick 3 decks over here. As you can see, I've got a Hermione, I've got a Bellatrix, and I've got a Hagrid deck. I have not practiced enough with my Bellatrix or Hagrid, or really even looked into a proper deck for these guys. So at the moment, I am struggling. Seriously, struggling. We'll go into a match and I'll show you exactly what comes up at this point. You are also looking for players worldwide. The other downfall of this, especially living in Australia, if you go against someone in Europe or America, my ping is horrible. Seriously horrible. The lag I get sometimes, it makes it nearly impossible to play, but I'm going to stick with it. So when you load into a battle, it comes up like this. They have their 3 teams and you get to disable one of them. So I don't want to go against a Neville deck. So I'm going to disable Neville. So they have to pick between these 2. They've disabled my Hermione. I'm stuffed. Seriously, I'm going to pick Hagrid. I'm literally got no idea how to play this deck very well. And this is why I'm in a down slump right now, because I'm just getting eaten to pieces by these guys. Eaten to pieces. We'll have a look at this duel quickly. Hopefully I win. I highly doubt it. If I do win, I'll show the whole thing. But if I don't, I will be skipping right past it, you know. Nah. As I expected, I got absolutely obliterated. Not even worth showing it because it's not that fun of a duel. I really, really need to learn how to play Hagrid even better than I am, or even set up my deck properly. I don't think it's set up properly. So we've got some more advice incoming, guys. This has just been a jam-packed video full of advice. If you've learned something, please hit that subscribe down below, guys, because that really helps me out. Shows me that I'm making content that you guys like. So when you get to this point, it says make 3 decks, so then they can ban one. Realistically, you only need to make 2. So why I say you only really need to make 2, you need to have the third one there, but they ban 1 deck. So it says to make 3 decks, alright? If you have 2 that you like, say it's Hermione and Bellatrix, and then you have Hagrid here, that you don't care about. You don't even care if they ban it or not. That means that, say if Bellatrix gets banned, you get to play with Hermione. If Hermione gets banned, you play with Bellatrix. If Hagrid gets banned, you get to pick from the 2 that you really like playing. Obviously, as you get further and further up the ranks, you will need to learn 3 decks because you need to really have a guess at what you think they're going to play, and then you can counteract that with your Echo. But for when you first get in here, try and just master 2 decks, then master 3. If you go from 1 to 3, that is a huge jump and a lot of knowledge that you need to learn very fast. So it is a bit of a luck game where if my Hermione's up, I pretty much pick that, no doubt. And I'm probably giving away secrets to all of you guys that watch me, so if you come up against me, don't ban Hermione, please. Please don't ban Hermione. So that's my PvP story so far. I still have a very long way to go. I'm still learning every day. I will be streaming this, and I will be learning off you guys even more. If you want to jump in Friday, Saturday night, my time, I will be up. Hopefully I see you guys there. Hopefully you've learned something today, and I will see you in a video soon.